Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings. Love and light to you all. Tonight, on Factz over Feelingz, I'm having a hard time keeping it feelings out of the picture, because even though I told everybody back on August the 25th, July 25th, I'm sorry, that we wasn't gonna be happy. After everything that has happened, after all the pressure, all the talking, even when we sat down and examined the law, and I told you all what those possible outcomes could be, even though many of us prepared ourselves for something far worse, that we thought we'd get nothing, that they would just be, go home and have a good day. What we didn't need at this point was to be slapped in the face on the way out the door. If I was not cut from the cloth of leadership, if I was petty, and I'm not, then I could sit here and say, I told you this was going to happen, because I did. If you are a student of Factz over Feelingz, you can go back and watch any of the shows that we did, All Eyes on Bree, where we broke down the charges that could come out of this and their penalties. And while many of us thought we'd get nothing, what we did get was something that, well, we're going to give you something, but we ain't going to give you nothing. We still going to show you that the culture will not change unless you make it change. And there are two ways that things have always changed in history. And that either through political process brought about by the people, or by violence brought about by the people in a revolution. Tupac once said, if y'all don't like it, if y'all really have a problem, let's get up out of here. Let's start a revolution. Let's not talk about it. Let's go ahead and start a revolution. Let's pack up and get up out of here. Pac said that. And I've said somewhat the same thing, minus the revolution part. I said, let's get up out of here and let's protect ourselves on the way out the door so they can't stop us. Tonight, I'm not about to sit here and dig into the details of the slap in the face that I told y'all was coming when I stood on the steps of the courthouse in Louisville. I will let you know that 2 police officers have already been shot in Louisville ever since this decision has come out. And there's going to be unrest because you still pissed in our face and called it rain at the same time. You want to come back. It sounds to me like the grand jury just had to come up with something. They knew they had to come up with something, like somebody said, y'all got to come up with something, because they knew that nothing was not going to work. So what you came up with was to say that they shot in somebody else's house, and that because this man fired first, that he was justified in y'all shooting 22 shots into this house, killing this young lady, and that the only thing that this man could possibly face, even in the worst case scenario, the one that you did charge, is 5 years per charge, which means that maybe 15, get out in 7 or 5, can run those concurrently, and then he doesn't even go to. You see where this is going? I told y'all you wouldn't be happy. However, since this is not 1968, We cannot have a 1968 response. Now, tonight, black people, is an opportunity for us to exercise something we're not doing right now. And that is the managing of our emotions into action. Not simple, unorganized savagery, which they're used to, but chess instead of checkers. This is just one step in a process. You losing your cool over the first move on the board, but your opponent has already decided what's going to happen next. Don't play into their hands. I told you all this. Now that it has arrived at your doorstep, don't get brand new. Take a deep breath, calm the fuck down, take a step back and think. Because the moment that we respond in our emotions, we're going to lose everything. Now, tonight is a night for everybody in America who's black to make a decision. Now y'all see why they took my other channel down? I didn't do anything. They took it down and didn't tell me why. Now you see why they took it down, because they rather I only talk to a handful of you than to talk to the platform that I had, because they knew this bullshit was coming. You see, they know that we understood the politics at work behind this. We know that that black man is being groomed by the white man for the Supreme Court because he's just a face. He's a puppet. He did exactly. And I told y'all this. He was not going to try to find a way to charge anyone for killing Breonna. He was going to try to find a way to get those officers off because he is a police-friendly attorney general. I knew that when I talked to him. I knew that when I walked out of the meeting. I knew that when I stood on the steps and said we'd be back to burn the damn city down in 4 weeks. You see, it got them moving off their ass, didn't it? We wouldn't be here today where we are. We wouldn't have nothing to be angry about if we hadn't gone down there and did what we did the way we did it. Now that you see that they still don't care, that they still gonna play you to the left, now that you see that, now you want to get upset when you don't have the resources to fight a war that we cannot win. Even if all 57 million of us lost our minds and started to flip the fuck out here in the United States, we're still outnumbered by 250 million other people. Now you want to commit suicide, then be my guest. But we're trying to survive and make sure our race survives intact. I have shown you other ways to hurt these people. I have shown you other ways that in order to change the situation, either change the laws or change your location. Change the law or change your location. 1 minute y'all mad about them telling you to go back to Africa. The next minute you sitting here bitching about the house that you live in. Change the laws. Remember, slavery used to be legal at one time. Jim Crow used to be the law at one time. The black codes used to be the law at one time. And I told y'all when we examined Kentucky law, I said, well, damn, the way they got their laws written, the way they got their laws written. Change the law or change the location. You can't sit here and tell me, I ain't going nowhere. My ancestors built this motherfucker. I'm not going nowhere. I got a good job and a good house. I'm not leaving. Then don't get mad when they slap your ass in the face with these fucked up laws that they wrote. They wrote those laws to control you, not to control them. That's why they don't apply them to them. They apply them to you. I've been telling y'all this for 6 months. Now, does it make sense? Why is he trying to get us out of here? Why is he talking about liberation? Why is he talking about separation? Because until we understand that we all got to get together, not just those of us that have formed a militia, all of us, tonight, y'all got to make a decision. Tonight, if you really want all these things to happen with us being able to get in the streets and respond like people are doing right now who have no organization, who have nothing but their anger and their emotions, join us in the NFAC and grow our numbers to millions. And then you can respond like you're talking. But right now, there ain't enough people to respond for the way y'all talking. Everybody from celebrities all the way to athletes to other people. I'm disappointed in this. But that's about all you're going to do is talk. And then you want somebody else to get out there and do something. Then join us. Grow the numbers. Go on over to blacknfac.com and put your contact information in and come on and join up with us then. So if I call up 1 million people, let's say if I needed 1 million soldiers to descend on Louisville, I know there's 1 million en route. You want to do something about it, then do something about it. But I'm talking about everybody. And those of y'all that ain't gonna do nothing, then step to the side and don't stop the ones that are. Because this is the kind of shit they give us when they see that only a handful of us want to stand up and be up against them. And then y'all expect that handful to run up on your accord when they can wipe our ass out in a split second. I'm pissed. I'm pissed because we've been slapped in the face, y'all. Yes, we have. You know, I'm not one of those individuals that would encourage anarchy. I'm not one of those individuals that would go out and say, jeopardize yourselves and your families. But to the black race all over this country, I want you to open your collective eyes to what is happening to you. You are the subject of human rights violations in this country called the United States. This same type of activity went on in South Africa. They had a name for it. It was called apartheid. We are living in an apartheid here in the United States. We're living under a government that tells us that we're equal but treats us completely different. We are the victims of a justice system that unless we do something to change it, we're going to continue to be victimized by it. What you all have got to start doing, you have to start listening. I have been wasting my breath for the last 6 months. And you got the nerve to act surprised now? You got the nerve to act indignant now? Oh, no, 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 no. Then you don't have a program. You don't have a response mechanism. And only thing you can do is get in your emotions. Take those emotions tonight and channel them into action. Join us in the NFAC and grow us to a size so large within the United States that they will think twice before they slap us in the face again. This is what I was trying to tell you, that a time is going to come that you're going to have to make a choice. Now, all of a sudden, everybody feel it. Now, and all of a sudden, you feel like we did when we went down to Brunswick. You feel like we did when we rolled up into Stone Mountain. You feel like we did the first time we rolled into Louisville. Now, tonight, you feel like we did all over America. Because if this could happen to her and nobody gets charged, no officers, look, I got a copy of the indictment right here. In case y'all haven't seen the indictment, can I read the indictment to you in case you haven't seen the indictment yet? I'm going to read you the indictment just because. Give me the copy of the indictment. Thank you. I'm going to read y'all what's on the indictment. And when I'm done reading this indictment, I want y'all to tell me what's missing from this indictment. Because at the end of the day, I told you this was not about the neighbors. This was about Miss Breonna Taylor. This is from the Commonwealth of Kentucky, Jefferson Circuit Court indictment, number 20 CR 1473. Terrible handwriting. The Commonwealth of Kentucky versus Brett Hankerson. Now, let me stop right there. That should tell you that they were after him. They never considered the other officers. They didn't consider them. They went after the trigger man. It says right here, this indictment is wanton endangerment in the first degree. And then they cite the statute inside of the law, which is a Class D felony, 1 to 5 years in prison. 1 to 5 years in prison. Very low level. Goes on to say that the Jefferson County grand jury charges as follows. Count 1, wanton endangerment in the first degree on or about March 13th, 2020 in Jefferson County, Kentucky. The above named defendant, Brett Hankerson, committed the offense of wanton endangerment in the first degree when, under circumstances manifesting extreme indifference in human life, he wantonly shot a gun into an apartment occupied by CE. Now, CE is not BT. So you talking about he shot in somebody else's crib. Okay. Then he came back with count 2. Same charge, same thing, but this time he shot into an apartment occupied by initials CN, not BT. Okay? So then we get to the third charge. And the third charge is same thing, except this time you fired into an apartment occupied by initials ZF. So 3 people had nothing to do with what went down inside of this place right here. Now, here's my problem with this. Here's my problem with this. Okay. And this is why I say you have to study the law. You have to study the law. They set his bail at $15,000. The guy bailed out in a half an hour. It was gone. Took him 6 months to come up with this 2-page indictment. And they never mentioned Breonna Taylor's name. They never said Breonna Taylor. Nowhere does it even say that it has anything to do with the death of Breonna Taylor. It doesn't even allude to the raid that they were conducting with the warrant. In other words, without this indictment right here, they didn't do a damn thing. They technically did what I said they were going to do. They were going to return no finding. Now, black people, here's where we have to manage our emotions. Yes, that was a slap in the face. However, I told y'all that when the young man in the apartment fired the first shot, that immediately police like to jump behind the self-defense shield. They all shot back in self-defense, which by law they're entitled to do. What I have a problem with is that in the record, it says that the first officer through the door said he saw a man and a woman and the man was holding a gun. Okay, I got that part. If that's the case, how can you tell me, and to stay with me, that it was reckless endangerment of other people when he identified someone in the apartment who was not armed? He just saw another person standing there. The person that shot at you and that you're returning fire against, but you had knowledge that there was somebody in there who, all you know, could have been a hostage. They could have been, you don't know. But you started shooting. Now, everybody outside, you just heard a shot. So you just shot up in the crib. We didn't deal with that at all. That's the part that I'm having a problem with. That's the part that I can't get with that. I'm sorry. I can't. That's the part that doesn't sit well with me. Now, I understand there are some bigger politics at work. I know for a fact that Daniel Cameron is being groomed for the Supreme Court by the Republican Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell. He's married to his granddaughter. Yes, that's right. So we're watching, we literally watching back some old Dixie shit play out right in front of us. And y'all don't seem to get it. If you don't like it, then we change the law or we change our location. If y'all feel that strongly about strapping up and not obeying the police no more, then we all got to strap up. It can't just be a select group or a militia. If you want to act like that this is where you at, then let's go ahead and be about that. But we all got to be on the same page. If tomorrow morning every black person that steps out their house is strapped up shorty and we all on one accord, that if you attack one of us, you attacking all of us, then if that's where we gonna go, then damn it, let's do it. Just remember what I said, and here it comes. You're watching what I said come true, that the moment we try to do something like that and all get on one accord and all of us strap up and walk like we own code, you're going to find out that there are some other black people who not on code. There's some black people who going to stop you. There's some black people that's going to say, why are you getting involved? There's some black people that's going to fight against you. There's some black people going to show up with their white friends and they're going to try to fight against you. You're going to find out that everybody's not on code because everybody doesn't know the code. Everybody's not on code because everybody can't be programmed with the code. And everybody's not on code because everybody doesn't have the melanin code in their system. Everybody's not a child of the Most High. Everybody doesn't believe that they're descendants of slavery. Some of them think that we've never had it this good. Or I can talk to you till I'm blue in the face, but this black man is talking to you right now because y'all ain't never had a black man in a long time that comes up and told you what you need to hear. Not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. And the truth of the matter, what has happened to Breonna Taylor is going to happen over and over again until we either change the laws or change our location, strap up as one people and stand together and not take it. I don't have enough people to go out and actually do something that's going to change this whole goddamn unless I start bringing people in from outside of this country. And I keep telling y'all, they just waiting for us to do some dumb shit so they can label us a terrorist organization and hunt us down like they did the Black Panthers. And then y'all gonna be right back where you was before with nothing. So tonight we either get on board as a people or y'all keep on being emotional about it. BlackNFAC.com. Drop your contact information. You don't get a rejection letter, that means that you passed our background check. That means you need to join us at the next formation, strapped up shorty, and take the oath. And then you go back to your hometown. You go back to your cities. So when shit like this happens, y'all can clump up locally and then go in and do what you got to do. And if shit gets, what's the word I want to say? Interesting. You can then reach out and call for backup. But right now, y'all don't have a structure like that in place because a lot of y'all still believe that walking around in a circle is going to change anything. Walking around with a sign is going to change anything because you concerned about it. They know you concerned. They know you out in the streets. Matter of fact, they prepared for you to be in the streets. Matter of fact, they come to the streets to meet you and hit you in the head and tear gas you and take you to jail. We lose when they do that. We don't win when they do that. We win when we all get on code and say y'all either gonna change the laws or we gonna change our location. We hold back our money from them. We don't need another goddamn conference where somebody's making you come and pay to sit around and listen to a bunch of people tell you what we should do and then everybody go back home. Y'all keep on paying y'all money to these people for these conferences that land you right back in the same situation. Then when something like this happened, you the first one talking about, I can't believe this happened. I can't believe your ass still doing the same thing. Somebody say, talk, black man. Why are you that out there? Why aren't you out there? And even if you are out there, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Now let's have the conversation for real. Because see, this is one thing that gets me about my people. That's why this is all black. Now do y'all see why I don't want no white people involved in this shit? Now do y'all see why? We got to fix this together. This is not some shit where we need allies, because our allies wasn't enslaved. Our allies didn't have the black codes put on them. Our allies wasn't a victim of Jim Crow. Our allies didn't see every leader that stepped up get assassinated and then their name, a character assassinated on top of that. Our allies didn't do none of that shit. But then y'all always want to let somebody else, like you can't do nothing by yourself. We got to do this. We either gonna rise together or we gonna sink together as a people. Make up your mind, but you need to make up your mind tonight. When I leave this live, if I don't see a million people trying to get into this email talking about, I want to join up, I want to join up, what I got to do to join up, I'm strapped up shorty. Don't you know that young people got more heart than most of y'all? Oh, y'all didn't think, y'all ain't see this coming, did y'all? That's why as of tonight, I am lowering the age limit for those people who can join the NFAC. The cutoff used to be 21 years old. I'm dropping that to 18 years old. Because I honestly believe that the backbone is in that region of 18 to 21 years old who seem to have more heart, more fire than all of y'all sitting around talking about, well, I got a family, man, and I can't do that. I don't know what I'm going to do. That. Y'all keep talking about y'all want to do something. Get in line. Let's do it. To all my commanders that are listening in on this call, 18 and up. Y'all want 1,000,000 guns formation? Then you got to be able to show me we got 1,000,000 people. Otherwise, anything you do, you're playing right into their hands. Anything you do is suicide at this point. You are playing their game. Stop letting them push your buttons emotionally. Don't do that. It's bait. Pay attention to the bigger picture. Study the laws. Those laws were put in place to control you. Join us October the 3rd in Lafayette, Louisiana. Get there any way you can and let us show the world that black people can get on code. I don't mean get on code and we just standing around acting like we mad. But if we don't grow our numbers, there's no way they're ever going to give us the respect. You see, it was only a small group of us who went into Louisville, but we got respect. There was only a small group of us that went down to the Derby, but we got respect. And now y'all see what then happened. Once again, the justice system. Just us? Nah, it's just them. And you can sit here and hate if you want to, but hating ain't never fixed nothing. Understand what a militia is. The definition of a militia is a military force that is raised from the civilian population to supplement a regular army in an emergency. I believe we're in a state of emergency. A militia is a military force that engages in rebel activities in opposition to a regular army. I'm just reading you what's in the dictionary. Don't sit here and say, oh, he said, no, he ain't say shit. That's what Oxford has defined a militia as. It defines, the Oxford Dictionary, all able-bodied civilians eligible by law for military service. It also goes on to say that a militia force that engages in rebel or terrorist activities. That's the definition of a militia. A militia is not a mob. A militia is an organization on one accord that shows up to accomplish one thing. And in this particular time we live in, we need some laws changed. We need people to be able to speak to power and they recognize its power. Now, y'all want to get in the streets and just go to straight out violence and declare war. Don't be upset when they hit your ass back. I need everybody who's sitting on this live right now that has served in the armed forces. Help these people out and make them understand what the U.S. military is sitting on. Weapons of mass destruction that will take out your whole city, no problem. Take out your whole neighborhood, no problem. Weapons that you cannot get your hands on. Yes, you can buy all the guns you want. You can buy all the big caliber weapons you want. You can even skim up some explosives if you know who to talk to. But when they roll in your neighborhood in a Bradley, or when they come through your neighborhood in an M1A1 Abrams, or somebody pops up with a Stinger missile, or somebody's on a roof with a saw, or you see 3 people pull up with a crew-served weapon, or somebody come with some heavy artillery, or they decide to come in and hit you from the air with an Apache, or they decide to bring in a F this or a F that, or they decide to deploy nuclear biological agents against your whole team, and you standing there, you gonna find out that you have picked on something that outguns you, outmans you, and has outweaponed you. You are in no way prepared. So if you want to go out in a blaze of glory and have a brief but short period in a catalog, then no. And all y'all stop all that bullshit and playing video games talking about snipers and shit. They don't have to waste resources on shit like that. That's why it's called mass destruction. You ever heard of a neutron bomb? A neutron bomb is a bomb that they drop that keeps the buildings intact but destroys the people. Are you familiar with 5G millimeter wave weapons? You know the kind where they can roll up and microwave your ass so your skin feel like it's burning? Y'all ain't heard about no shit like that because you don't have no shit like that. You still running around with a gun in your hand. They bringing out shit that you ain't heard of. Have you heard that they done developed robots now that can come out and do the fighting for them, kick down your door and fuck you up? You see, before you start talking about some suicidal shit, make sure everybody around you wants to commit suicide. But I told you once before, I'm here for the life of my people. I'm here for the children to have a future. I'm here so that they can look back and tell my story, not that we can go out in a blaze of glory and that be the end of that. That's what they want. They want you to act like savages. They want you to act like you ain't know how to think nothing out. They don't want you to start acting like our great warriors who out-strategize them like Shaka Zulu. They don't want you to be a great strategist and grow an army that they can't beat like Hannibal. They don't want you to start talking about why don't we address some of the things that y'all have done to us on a scale of people and not as a person. They want you to act like an individual. They don't want you to act like an organism or an organization. And I'm telling y'all tonight, if y'all don't make the right decision, once again, you didn't listen to me for the last 6 months and now you're sitting around like this shit is brand new and you're acting like all emotional, like you lost your damn mind. Let's get together, channel the energy, unite once and for all, grow our goddamn internal black militia, and then we can talk about what we're gonna do. And that's all I got to say up in this motherfucker tonight. I'm NFAC for life. You either join us or stop talking about the situation when it keeps happening to you over and over again. That's all I had to say about this shit. Doesn't make no goddamn sense. Now that I done got that off my chest, I want y'all to understand that if you decide that that is what you need to do, don't let nobody talk you out of it. Our salvation as a people is only going to come if we get together. I sound like I'm stuck. Together. Why is it so hard? Why is that so hard for y'all to understand? Together. Why is it so hard for you to stop hating people? Together. Right now, try to stop hating the motherfucker. Can you do that? Together. You can't. Because you don't know no fucking different. See what I just did? I'm exposing your trauma. I'm showing you what you suffering from. We all suffering from post-traumatic slave disorder. You can't help it. You want to help it, but you can't. It's like being an addictive drug. Together. We got to get to fucking together. Not get together with your clique. Not get together with your gang. Not get together with your set. Not get together with people who think like you. Get together, period. You see, one thing about white people, they may not all agree with nothing, but they agree on one thing, your ass. They're united together when it comes to you. They might have different political views, Republican, Democrat, and all that shit, but one thing they're united on is your ass. The problem is we can't get united together about them. That shit blows my mind. What's wrong with my people? I'll tell you what's wrong with us, because you got issues. You got personal issues. Yeah, you was born on the B team. Yeah, you was born on the team that gets shit handed to them. Yeah, you was born on the team that gets the short end of the stick. Well, guess what? Welcome to the goddamn team. We all got it bad. Your blues ain't no bluer than nobody else. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know what I've been through. I know what we've been through. See, that's the problem. You acting like the whole world is on your motherfucking case when we was all born in the same case. Let me say it again. You acting like the whole world is on your case when the truth of the matter is the world, we was all born in the same case. And the case still, they got their foot on the case. They pouring shit in the case. They spitting in the case. They pissing in the case. They shooting in the case. They got their knee in the case. They putting ropes in the case. They giving bullshit justice in the case. They kicking the door down of the case and shooting in the case and only getting in trouble because they shot some other cases. So don't come at me with that, oh, you don't know my blue is bluer than yours bullshit until you realize that we all suffering. And the only way we're going to get out of this shit is if all of us get over ourselves and say, you know what? I know I'm fucked up. I know I got issues. Yeah, I know I had a fucked up childhood. Yeah, I know the man done did this. Yeah, I know they fucking around. I know all of that. But you know what? I'm not getting out of here unless I work along with the people who look like me. And I got to be smart enough to identify the ones that don't look like, that look like me, that are not me. Daniel Cameron just proved that to you. He can look you dead in your face and smile and say, you know, we've done the best thing that we could do. And we want you all to understand, you know, I met with the family last week. They can look you in your face and do that shit. They can code switch on you real fast. Now, to all my comrades all around the country, I'm not going to talk to the globe because this is in our house. Wherever you are, you should be preparing for October the 3rd. Wherever you are, don't you get caught up in your emotions because there's nothing new here. If you've been listening to your commander, I told you this was going to happen. Unless you're really not listening and it's just going in one ear and out the other and you just in this for show. Or maybe you have another agenda. Well, either way, if you're not on board, then you're not on code. And if you have another agenda, don't let us stand in your way. Don't ask where everybody else at. You going out there and do it if that's how you feel about it, because that shows us you're not thinking. And if it's one thing that the white man respects, is anyone who thinks. And if it's one thing we've demonstrated, is that we're master thinkers, that we are chess players in this game. So all of you low vibration, low intelligence people, y'all go ahead and keep on talking that smack out the side of your neck. We don't hear you no way. I told y'all this once before. If you're not going to come stand on the line with us with the weapon and put your life on the line, don't say nothing. Let me say this before I go. Y'all looking at shit ass backwards. You see, the reason it looks like we just walk around with guns is because no one's taking a shot at us. Period. And then you got some dumbass sitting there, well, oh, so y'all just a self-defense militia? Motherfucker, what the fuck do you think it is that you think you're gonna do? You want to go and start a war that you can't win? How dumb is that? You just showed us how dumb you are. The police hide behind self-defense. We're beating them at their own game. But don't worry. Should they shoot at us? I've said it publicly. I've said it in all my engagement. If they point a weapon at you, thank you. You fill in the blanks because you've heard me say it before. At the end of the day, when I leave this live, I should see nothing but all you people who say you really want to get on code with this, that you're really sick of this. You should be trying to join the NFAC, 18 and up, black folk. Otherwise, I'm going to see that y'all are just as fake and phony as all those other people that was running their mouths about us that did. First, you didn't want the NFAC. Now, where is the NFAC? You get what I'm saying? First, you was like, that we ain't gonna get nothing, but you got a little something, but it was fucked up. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the same way I put them on blast, now Black America, I'm putting you on blast too. You talking that shit, then come on, join us. When we pull into Lafayette, Louisiana, we shouldn't be able to fit into that city. We shouldn't be able to fit. I know my 18 to 21-year-olds ain't gonna let me down now. I know they ain't, but it's all you people that claim that you are awake and that claim that you have, you have arrived, that you know better. Well, guess what? Apparently the only thing you know better is how to keep your mental chains a little tighter so they keep your mouth moving, but the rest of you still sitting behind a chair, behind the screen. Don't think that everybody who's got the courage to type whatever they're typing when no one knows that they're typing it is being brave. Those people who are in the streets of Louisville right now are hurting. Those people in the streets of Louisville right now are frustrated. Those people in the streets of Louisville right now are enraged because of the simple fact that it's not because they didn't charge the dude, is that they sick of a system that keeps saying, wait, and then you give us bullshit. And if nothing else hasn't changed, you now have an opportunity, and I've given you a blueprint on how to respond. And a lot of you, whether you like to admit it or not, deep down inside of yourself are still afraid of the white man. You're afraid of him. You say you're not, but your actions are speaking louder than all these words on social media. I am the Grand Master J, Supreme Commander of the Not Fucking Around Coalition. You should join us now so that we can stand 1,000,000 guns. But otherwise, after today, after what I told y'all was going to happen, actually happened, Black America, it ain't the white folks I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at you. I put this together for you. Now you're going to have to stand up and walk with us, get behind us, or get out of the way, because you belong on the plantation. You don't belong anywhere near a liberated nation. There are some other things I want to report on, but I believe that tonight we should stay focused right where we are. The name Breonna Taylor. I just can't imagine what it's like to be at my house, in my bed, chilling, and it sounds like somebody is breaking in my house. And wow. And then I'm dead. Just like that. And nobody gets charged with my death. I do applaud the changes that the city has agreed to make with regards to policing. No more no-knock warrants. All other warrants have to be approved and signed in advance. No, you cannot charge the judge that signed the warrant, because it turns out that the warrant, when it got signed, those police officers, they knew nothing about the warrant. It was given to them to execute. They just executed it in a fucked up way. But I just can't, I focus on, I have to say this, I focus on the emotion right there. I try to focus on the emotion of what Ahmaud Arbery, what was going through his head while he was fighting this old white man with a shotgun, and the shotgun is continuously going off, killing him. I try to imagine what that is like, because those were the last moments of this woman's life, not knowing what was going on. And then seeing how we have responded as a people and how America has responded as a country. I'm talking about the judicial system. And watching the value of us go down. That right there is something that I can't rock with that. I'm sorry, I can't. But what I can't do is I can't be stupid. I cannot be emotional in my response. I have to continue to play the game of chess, because the object is to win the game. And in order to win the game, we cannot respond out of emotions. We will continue to monitor the situation. But we cannot respond yet because we're not big enough yet. You want us to be big enough? Join us in the NFAC. You all have a good night. I bid you all shalom. And my continued condolences to the Taylor family and to the memory of Breonna Taylor. That's all I have to say. Can't believe this, bro. Blew my mind on this one.
Here's a message to my unborn. It's a cold world, even when the sun's warm. Only put our hands up when they guns drawn. They simply don't feel us. They wanna put 3 in our chests like the hiccups. Young, black, and gifted, and they still judge me. I could give a damn as long as my daughters love me. Bridges burn, you can hear it in my cadence. Tell a man the truth, he quick to say that you hating. They think it happens overnight, nah, it takes patience. These women come forth, family God, then it's paper. Never judge before you love. Guilty before innocent when you the same color as us. German engineering when I steer it. Always run directly towards it, even when you fear it. The stress get heavy, especially when you near it. I'm talking about your goals, and when you feel it in your soul, you close.
Hey son, you are the best thing that could have ever happened.